Brought to you by our sponsors, William Richmond Inc., Farmers Home and Auto Insurance, the Bob Koski Agency, R.E. Graves Heating and Air Conditioning, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, McNeil's Group Properties, the Charleston Senior Community, and Chesapeake's Bounty. Now, here's Forecaster John Bordash with a live forecast update.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Forecaster John Bordash with you right now in the Storm Lab to give you just a quick lunchtime update on what it is we're looking at there right now, what the weekend forecast looks like. We'll talk a little bit about that snow system, but I'm going to save much of that for a live update we will be doing later on this evening after I issue my first call forecast. But we will mention and kind of go over a little bit of what we're looking at. So let's get into it. So let's bring you over here. The current weather right now, we currently, I need to make sure my screens are all good, much of the region sitting in the upper 40s already, so we're a bit warmer than I thought we would be by this time of the day. And these little areas of green you can see trying to pop up, those would be 50, so we're looking at that trying to pop up across parts of central Virginia. We did see some rain move through overnight. It moved out pretty quickly this morning. It was out of here by about 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning, which was great news. And we are looking at a little bit of cloud cover across the region. If I put on the cloud layer here, and I'm going to let that load. Cloud cover is the most prominent to the north and west, where you see a lot of these blacks. I need to fix this color table. That's where we're looking at clearing conditions, which is great. If we zoom things out just ever so slightly, you can see we're looking at cloud cover, and that's going way too slow for me. It's the one thing I don't like about this system. The zooming is too slow. But we are looking at more cloud cover off the coastline, and that's where our cold front is. If I could put it on our fronts, you'll see, put on some winds for you. The bulk of what we saw today out over the open ocean. Now, we are looking at the actual cold front itself is this blue line just now crossing the mountains. So out ahead of it, we are seeing some pretty warm conditions, but the cold air will begin to filter in later on this evening into the overnight tonight. So that's going to be what we look forward to as this evening will do. As the cold front comes through, though, I don't think we're looking at any precipitation as that kind of moves through the region. So that's looking at that part of the forecast. If I put you on over, and I need to make sure I am on the right screen here, and I hope that this no snow forecast, I want to get that off. You can tell that I was tinkering around with some things earlier. If I can come down here, I want to make sure I am here. Nope. Again, you would think I would have been a little better at doing this beforehand. My apologies, I was not. That's fine. We'll roll with it like this because I don't feel like tinkering with this all day. So this is the way we will be looking at temperatures and I didn't get this up either. So looking at our North America model, as we head into tomorrow morning, temperatures will be a little chilly. Temperatures tonight get down near freezing, but even tomorrow, even after that cold front comes through, temperatures still get pretty nice. I mean, locally, let's zoom on in here. We're talking about temperatures tomorrow that are going to be in the upper 40s for much of us. So that, I think, is going to be the story for tomorrow. And I think tomorrow doesn't look too bad. It won't be until we head later on in the day, and I think I'll just need to come down here. When we start to see the cloud cover moving, if we come back here a couple frames, this is tomorrow morning at around 7. Mainly clear. We begin to introduce the idea of some clouds moving, and this is getting into the afternoon, late afternoon, into the evening hours. So that's going to be tomorrow's forecast. So what I do know will happen, regardless of what my forecast says, is that it will be, and I'll just do this, is that JB, it is going to be almost 50 tomorrow. There's going to be no way it snows on Sunday. Every single time the last 7 years we have had a warm day come before a snow event, I have gotten probably hundreds of thousands of comments at this point of that exact same comment. And the weather conditions before a system do not dictate how a weather system will happen. There have been days literally where we have hit 72 before a snow event, and then the next day we see 3 to 6 inches of snow. You need the cold air present when it happens, not beforehand. Albeit, it would be nice to have cold air beforehand, because that will dictate how much accumulates, and to the degree it accumulates and how quickly it's able to start doing so. But I mean, and you don't even need temperatures below freezing. But I will quickly show you what some of the latest guidance that we're looking at has for our region. This is for tomorrow afternoon. This won't show you cloud cover, but it will show you precipitation. You see much of the region, we're looking clear. You already see, though, that we have some precip beginning to gather along the Gulf Coast. That's going to move their developing storm system. And we can see that begin to push up to the north. And then this is getting us over towards about 10 p.m. Saturday night. This starts to bring in some precipitation in southern Virginia. Our storm center is well to the south down here near Charleston. I would love to see that. Moving us forward now towards about 1 o'clock as temperatures are cooling. Our storm system begins to get going. It begins to push precip up into our region. Verbatim, this model has more rain than snow initially, but I think that's more of just a small detail that the model just has to iron out itself. Then as we push it on over towards about 4 o'clock, that's when it starts. As the low pressure system gets going, that's where we start to see snow break out in the northwestern side of it. I still have concerns about this rain snow line, and I mentioned that yesterday. You want to see a northwest trend, which you needed to stay in the right position offshore, and it's going to be cutting it close. This model, though, you see this circle here, that's going to be our center of circulation. It really tries to develop some individual snow bands. There will likely be 2 snow bands that we're watching. One that will develop right up along the rain-snow line. The adage in meteorology is that you need to smell rain to get the best snows, because typically where you can get that rain-snow line, just on the other side of it, you'll get the heaviest rates of precipitation and thus heavy snow. So we'll likely see a band of heavy snow set up along there, and then we'll see another band of heavier snow set up further to the north and west. And the question a long time initially was, would we get in that further out snow band? Now the question is, are we going to be so close to the rain snow line that we would get into that? This is 7 a.m. though on Sunday, and this model is definitely a lot snowier than our other models. It keeps us as all rain. I will show you a model though that does not necessarily do that. And again, this is just a midday update. Not all of our latest guidance is in, so I've not even drawn up a snow map yet. I've done some drafts, but I'm going to wait until we get the full midday suite of models in before I issue any kind of forecast, so it probably won't be out till about 3 or 4 o'clock this evening. But as we push this forward, our model, getting into the evening, this is a little bit more aggressive with our, it's a little more aggressive with how much warm air is present. This is 10 o'clock, where this model had snow already out towards like the Virginia Beach area. This model has snow only really back down towards like southwestern Virginia. This is 10 p.m. Saturday night. Moving on forward, this model, and this is something I am taking note of, this model does show rain issues, even though you could say this could be just an issue with the model having like precipitation typing issues and it's just like a small error that isn't actually valid. This is indicative of an issue I think we will end up dealing with is rain snow line issues. It will not happen in this distinct way where you get snow in the Plata and then Lexington Park and rain everywhere in between. But I will take note that this model does show rain snow issues in our region, generally speaking. This model still does bring snow into our region, and there is that band of maybe more steady to moderate snow that develops along the rain snow line. But even this model, it gets that rain snow line very close into our region, like very, very close. It starts to get going off the coast, and then it heads up and out to sea. So that is just a quick look at the latest information I'm looking at here in the Storm Center this afternoon. And I see a comment from Derek, looks heavy but fast. That is going to be the biggest thing with this system, is that this is a fast-moving system. It is in and out of here probably within 6 to 12 hours. So that is not going to allow enough time to see big snow totals. You might have seen snow maps floating around, or snow forecasts floating around that's like 6 to 12 inches, and you see like this like 10-inch double-digit bullseye in our region. That will not happen with this storm, I do not think. I will not guarantee that, because that will always come back to bite me if I promise something and then the other it does actually end up happening. But to get just even 6 inches of snow in our region with this, we will need to see snow fall at 1 inch an hour every hour the storm is here, and that is just not likely. So my forecast, well, it will show snow in our region. It will not show crazy blockbuster snow totals. And I said this with the last system we just had impact our region earlier this past weekend. Leading up to the storm, I did not buy into the big snow totals. I did not think that was likely, and sure enough, we did not see big snow totals. Even my totals were a bit too high, and my totals were a bit lower compared to ones you might have been seeing. So there's a lot to look at this afternoon. I am looking over all of it, and it's still even the morning. My mind is just all over the place. I did finish up a decent amount of schoolwork today, so that's good. That is out of the picture. So we are good for the weekend just to really track this potential for snow. Again, I don't think it's going to be heavy snow. I mean, even this model, if I just show you some of the model data for snow, you will notice it tries to paint a bullseye in our region. And this model, this version of the model I'm looking at, is a little, it has a harder time trying to get the minute details of like snow amounts, so just take it generally. But this doesn't even put down that much snow locally. Verbatim, this program reads it as like 1 to 2 inches of snow. It's probably a little bit more than that, but you have bigger snow totals out in the mountains and up to the north. But in our region, while you could say a bullseye in our region, I don't think we're talking huge totals. The model we were looking at earlier paints some big totals, but the concern with this is that you see it's further out to the west. So that's what I'm looking at. It's going to be a very interesting afternoon. Our European model comes in around 1. Our UK Met model comes in, I think, in just about like half an hour or so. And we'll get some new Schreff plumes. I want to see maybe one more run of the NAM model. So there's a lot to look at, and I'm looking over all of it to form a forecast. I will be up probably between about 3 and 4. I'll probably do a live forecast shortly after, because afterwards I would like to spend some time with Ryan. Given that we had snow last weekend and now again this weekend, that has very much limited the time I get to spend with him. He's a teacher, so weekends are typically, when we do date nights and stuff. So I'm going to try to get one of those in this weekend. I told him I wouldn't let the snow event impede on that too much, so I gotta stay true to my word. So I'm busy working a way to get this together, so stay tuned. I will probably have that forecast out for you between 3 and 4, maybe a little earlier if I can get a little bit more work done a little quicker. So stay tuned. I will continue to keep you updated, but in the meantime, I'm Forecaster John Bordash. Thank you for joining me for this quick lunchtime update here from the Storm Lab, and I will continue to keep you updated. So have a nice and safe one. Keep it tuned right here at JB Weather, and I'll continue to keep you updated on